then so did you have a physical, did your insides go, like how in the world would that happen? Like, I don't know, like, so then the next question is, so I'm gonna add one more to the mix, and then we can talk about these things at lunchtime. You can talk about them at your table. All right, so I believe that there are times that people tell us how to do our business from a checklist, because it's easier to tell you what to do based on do this, do this, do this, do this, versus looking at D and saying, what is it that what's most important for you in your life right now? What is it that you want to accomplish as a director? What would cause you to feel successful in working with your unit of women? And if you, just go ahead and share, like role play.
Ask the question.
Yes, if you were, as a director, what would be the thing that would mean the most to you? That when you wake up in the morning and you're excited about being a director and working with your unit, what's important to you? What would be the pieces of it that would cause you to get excited?
Well, the most exciting part would be that they don't have to stay on the merry-go-round of life, that they really get to have their own life.
Yeah.
Like real freedom, not, make-believe freedom.
Gotcha.
So they get to be at home with their children. They get to, it's a get to instead of a have to.
So you get to see that being played out.
Yes.
That causes you the greatest joy.
Yes.
That it actually is for them what you know it can be for them. And you get to see that happen. Okay, awesome. So,
okay, let me ask you a question then.
Yes.
So that's what I want her to get, but she's, of course, we are recruiting now vital business owners, so maybe it's not an issue, but because they come in, some of them come in, they don't get it.
Right. So what was the invitation is the question.
Okay.
If the invitation is a $30 starter kit, that's the depth of their buying.
Absolutely.
So if the invitation is I'm going to lower the bar so low that who wouldn't want to just step over that? And the lower the bar, the lower the commitment. There's no vision, there's no dream, there's no really belief in anything. They probably don't even understand the marketing plan. They came in for a free lunch and a good deal. And so they're not, so nothing even has to go wrong for them to go sideways. They just don't even want to come in. They don't even want to get on the Zoom. They don't so recruiting women for the sake of the vision and the income and what it can do for them and showing that to them on that sheet is going to be, they'll more likely buy into something significant than just a good deal. I'd rather they stayed a customer.
Yes.
So how do you work through the guilt of the people that you recruited for the wrong reason?
Oh, you don't. No guilt. No guilt whatsoever. Right. No, that's a good question now. Yeah, no.
What was the
Come on,
question?
people, I'm not the only one in the room. Don't ask me.
No. No, you are not the only one in the room. I'm sure that you are. Okay, so, and also, if you're a newer director and you're like, I didn't come through DIQ like that, you can start exactly where you're at right now and say, I'm going into DIQ at this moment, and I'm going to create the unit that I want to have based on where I move from here to there. So you recruit 2 or 3 people yourself, you do marketing plans with those people, and then those people, and then it just starts to magnify and multiply from there. So it's just like before I accepted Christ, I didn't understand the significance of so many things. I didn't operate in the shame of not knowing the significance of that. I operated in the newness of being a new creature in Christ. So we can't beat ourselves up because we did things that now we're learning something new that was maybe not that same path of prescription. It is what it is, and we move forward from there.
Right. Just to piggyback on Mary with some of our customers that we recruit, where we have big goals. One of the things that I do is I always give them an opportunity to be my customer. So when they decide they wanna place that order so that they can receive the 50% discount, they know what it is. And anytime they don't, Renata, I just want, you know, this, it's only $100, then they come to me as my customer. So I never lose that relationship with them because they were willing to support me during that season. So I keep them connected to me and not make them feel bad because they're inactive. But I just keep the relationship. And that's the most important thing, is to keep the relationship. So they know that going in. If it's not the consultant rate, then you don't get the 50%. And if you want it, you know what to do. But they always have that love relationship with the product.
That's so good. That is so good.
I just have one question about where you said you would recruit for vital business owners. Like, where do you find those women and how you I'm like, oh, that's a answer, but
Can you
Well,
repeat the question?
So
please?
it's not that you're recruiting people who are already business owners, right? It's
Yeah,
not
but
as a ma-
who you see
but
as-
when you recruit them, they're looking at this as being a business owner. That they're looking at this as a vital business, and I am going to be a business owner, president of my own company, so to speak. They are everywhere, they're everywhere. And they are all walks of life and all situations, because ambition has nothing to do with age, it has nothing to do with education, has nothing to do with background, it has to do with an internal desire in your heart. So when I do a marketing plan with 3 women, I can tell right off the bat which one has the ambitious spirit, because she's gonna ask me different kinds of questions. The ones who are thinking small are gonna ask me questions like, how often do you have to order? How big does the order have to be? But the one who is a big thinker is going, so if I build a team, then how much income would that look like for me? Like, and if I did that, and if I became a director, if I wanted to be, if I'd like to earn a car, or if I like, so those kinds of questions just tell me right off the bat, this woman is hungry, she wants something that's going to allow her to run for something, and the other part of that's such a good question, is that that's part of your declaration. So my declaration shifted from into I am attracting mentally healthy, emotionally ambitious women. That became because I was recruiting women. I had some great ambitious women, but I also had some women that were challenging. Like my first year, I recruited 2 narcissistic women, and that was like a train wreck. And I realized very quickly, like, so now if there was a red flag of someone who was narcissistic, I would be like running the other direction out of the room. So you don't have to recruit everyone who's in front of you. And if you have someone in your unit who is contentious and not gracious and kind, you don't need to work with her either. So you don't have to work with who's available. You work with who you choose to have relationships with.
Work with you.
Relationships with. So when you do marketing plans, so my focus was God is bringing me. He is bringing me those women who are going to be fun, and we're going to have joy, and we're going to be celebrating, and we're going to be loving what we're doing. Because before I became a national sales director, I decided that I was going to have a whole lot of directors that I was passionate about spending time with, who I loved spending time with, who I couldn't wait to be with them, and that they loved each other. And so I created the vision, I created exactly what that looked like and what that felt like, because what happens is the opposite happens. You create something that you're focused on, I don't like this and I don't like that, and why would I want more of it? And you start to expand whatever you dwell on. So it is. So the women who are ambitious, you just make a decision. Lord, I know you're going to bring me women who are excited about this opportunity. And they're going to show up in the dynamics of recruiting 1, and then she has her 3, and it's amazing. I mean, usually women who are ambitious are going to bring you more women who are ambitious, because those are their friends, and those are who they who they relate to. But once in a while, you'll have someone who's just really shy and quiet, and they'll bring you their dynamic aunt, who is like, "Rah!" Rock stars. So I believe that that the women that I wanted to see come into my life were not necessarily people that I personally touched. That it would just continue to expand. Because Mary Kay Ash started with 9, and in their first year of the company, it went to 300. 9 to 300 in 1 year. That doesn't happen unless you have a goal to multiply. And also that so here's the other cool thing, is that her mentality was an owner's mentality. She was an owner, she was a builder, she was a forger, she was an overcomer. She did not bring women into Mary Kay and say to them, I'm gonna show you how you can make a discount. She showed them how to make a profit. She spoke a different language because she was creating a foundation to a company and an opportunity that was going to be, it was extraordinary from the very beginning. But her vision of it and her mentality about it. So Craig Rochelle does this great training on the generations of a company. And he said the most significant thing about companies that go to a 3rd or 4th generation is that they maintain the same mentality that the founders had.
Absolutely.
Right. And when that mentality gets diminished, then the quality of everything else gets diminished.
Absolutely.
And then here's the other awesome reminder. Is corporate, as much as we need them and love them, do not build the company. We build the company. Corporate has never built the company. Mary Kay built the company. Richard didn't build the company. Richard managed the company. Mary Kay built the company. The national sales directors, who were the pioneers, built our company. And then the directors of the national built the company. The company was built by the women who were building their businesses and out in the field. And so we lose sight of the fact that we are the ones with the message. We are the ones with the blessing. We are the ones who are pouring forth how to help women feel great about themselves, believe in themselves, raise their standards, understand how they operate in this world. It all comes from us. The more that we do that, the more that it changes the energy and the frequency that goes on in our company. And when we're talking about frequencies, there's a story about, baby grand piano at one end of the room, baby grand piano at the other end of the room. You hit a key on that baby grand piano, and that key rings on that baby grand piano when no one is touching it. Because our world has been created by God to operate in vibrations. And when he says, speak to the mountain and let it be cast into the sea, he says, speak to the mountain. Speak to it. He created the world with his voice. He spoke us into existence. Right. So our declarations and our words and the authority that we take in those words is what creates what happens from this point forward. We create with that. So it is to call that out, those things that are not as though they were. So it doesn't matter if you have a unit of 3 people. What matters is that you're saying, I am so excited about leading my 100 women who are highly motivated and excited and committed and love working with me because I love working with them. So as we establish it, so it becomes. So the women show up. They show up. So sometimes it's like, who in front of me am I going to ask to be a model or ask to come to an event or whatever our invitation is to them? We bring them into the mix and then everything happens. That's it. I love it. Yay? It's time to eat. Okay, so here's our questions. We're going to have questions at our table, okay? So if there's one thing thing that you're gonna change from everything that you heard this morning, one thing, what would it be? You're gonna share it with the women at your table. One thing you're gonna change, what would it be? And one revelation that you had that you're gonna take captive of, so that you can recognize that revelation. Okay? Yay?